Bob Wilt is with us, CEO of Modern. Bob, take a seat.
Thank you.
Deserved round of applause. Should we stop there? We'll stop there, shall we? The great thing about this particular session is that it has no title beyond Fireside Chat. Just looking at you now, we just need the log cabin and the fire, Bob, because you're all ready for the chat. You look like you're about to go and enjoy yourself at a mining conference.
I do enjoy myself at a mining conference, and I made a very conscious decision when I got dressed this morning. I said, we've spent a couple of days talking about how we need to change the image of the mining industry, and none of us wear suits and ties to work in the mining industry, so why wear suits and ties when we're together? And we got to be attractive to young people. We can't look like a bunch of stodgy old white guys. So this is the way I dress normally, so.
But I mean, you are touching on also a very serious point here, aren't you? Because we've heard it time and again, the reputation of this industry, and I hadn't appreciated quite, is rock bottom. And it's not just about the image of whether it's coal dust on the faces of miners from my part of the world or perhaps treatment in other areas from the past. It is about who's in it.
Well, I think some of the statistics, our chairman talked about yesterday, the world needs 6 times as much aluminum, 9 times as much copper, but college graduates going into mining are down 50%. Pay and benefits we give them, the challenges. So we're trying to be on the cutting edge of progressiveness without tipping over, at least at Modern.
One of the things I've heard here, which I think is really interesting, is turning from being seen as you're the extractor, you're the ones who pull stuff out, to we produce everything here. We are the great provider, and how exciting could that be?
We feed 10% of the world with our products. If you drive a Jaguar Land Rover, a Mercedes, you're using aluminum that we make. If you drink Red Bull, it's in the can that we make, let alone the gold we mine for currency hedge. So we're a multi-commodity miner. We're not solving all the world's problems, but we're solving some pretty unique problems and some pretty cool stuff that's well beyond going underground with a pick and a shovel.
Yeah, well, whatever the reputation at the moment, there is a reality here for you, which is you are running the company which is really right at I was going to say coal face, but right on the front of this. Yeah, I've got the brochure here for the mining sector, 3rd pillar of Saudi Arabia's industrial economy. As we heard yesterday, mineral resources in your neck of the woods, well, they're double what you thought they were a few months ago. And that is enormous. I was standing next to you when the minister announced the figure, and you said, "Oh, no pressure there."
Right.
I mean, there is opportunity, but there is pressure.
Absolutely. I think if you just look at Future Minerals Forum the last couple of years, the first one was we announced to the world that we have a mining sector. Last year we announced here's some pretty audacious plans for it. And this year, hopefully, we're demonstrating to the world some serious credibility that we are serious about it. We have a bias for action. We're getting things done. And that includes, the revised estimate of the endowment, which, quite frankly, I think is low. If you go back and you look at Aramco or the oil reserves, that continues to go up the more work Aramco has done in exploration. So the more we bring the world in to explore the kingdom, I think we'll continue to find more, we'll refine that estimate, and we'll continue to improve it. I mean, just, our exploration effort that we announced last year has already yielded results in a massive gold discovery south of Mansoura. So, there are 10 million ounces or so. So as we really continue to build out the industry, I'm sure that number is going to be low.
But that's interesting where we're talking about, reputation even, but capacity building. You've got an amazing history here in petrochemicals and
Right.
in the petroleum industry, but that is not the mining industry. So you have exactly the same problem as is being faced right across this super region.
Right, and I think I have the utmost faith in the youth of Saudi Arabia to master the skills required to do this. I've seen it firsthand when I was with Alcoa and we built the aluminum joint venture 10 years ago. We took Saudis and we sent them to Quebec and Australia and the US and Europe and trained them. And we brought in Westerners for 2 years. At the 2-year mark, all the Westerners were gone. The Saudis run the place now. And Bill Opplinger, the CEO of Alcoa, said, I want some of your Saudis to come teach my people how to run smelters. So within 10 years, we've developed an industry that we're now world class in. Nothing says we can't do that with mining.
Well, that's good also for the diversification to
Right.
a certain extent of trades, of professions, of the economy itself as well. But I wonder, and perhaps it's something that a lot of the other countries within the super region, a lot of the people here will be thinking is, you can see and you have a job to do in growing that economy, in diversifying the economy, and making this work for Saudi Arabia.
Right.
How great do you sense is the commitment to making it work for everybody else? I'm not going to pretend it's a mutual self-help
Right.
group that we gather every Friday to discuss, but that's important.
No, I think, capitalism works. And I think trade flows will work and competitive clusters will work. People have to understand, the infrastructure's got to be there. The trade policy's got to be there. But everybody can't all want to develop an integrated electric vehicle battery value chain in their jurisdiction. But if we pool our resources together, there's some logical places where the mining can happen, the midstream processing can happen, and the assembly can happen. So I don't think we're going to do that sitting around conference tables in government offices. We're going to let the market dictate that. So I'm a true believer that provide the right incentives, provide the right trade policies, and capitalism will solve this problem.
And as I said at the start of this forum, it's the first time I've been here. The first one was only 2 years ago, well, it's the third event here. And the numbers speak for themselves as well. The pace of change is extraordinary.
Right.
And that is obviously down largely to the desire to make this happen. But you've been here 2 years, so you've been here for that lifetime.
Right.
Has it surprised you?
What has surprised me is the pace of change is real. I mean, I went away for 2 weeks for the holidays, and I came back, and there are more cranes on the skyline than there were when I left. It is just that fast. And if you think about even within Modern, we've hired 1,800 people since I've been there in 2 years' time. We have stood up the world's largest exploration program, drilled 460,000 meters last year and found massive gold discovery. We've reached nameplate capacity on one plant that was recently commissioned, and now we've announced groundbreaking and investment on phosphate phase 3, another 50% additional capacity. We've commissioned a gold mine. I mean, it's staggering the pace of change. And as a leadership team in Modern, some of the things we worry about, we've got 18 work streams we're working on to transform the company, because the way the company is run over the last 25 years was the fastest growing mining company in the world, but it wasn't fast enough to keep up with our own growth ambitions in the kingdom and the world's need for more minerals. So we have done a wholesale review of everything in the company, got it down to 18 work streams, and we're trying to determine the proper pace of how fast we can really go without losing the organization. We want to make it sustainable, and that's one of the big challenges here.
Well, I think probably this pace is close to unprecedented, I would have thought. So
I would think so.
You've got to make sure your shoelaces are well done up, because the possibility of tripping in or missing some of the aspects of some of those is huge. How much dependence is there, because I just don't know, you're an American leading this company, is there on foreign leadership and points
Very
of
little. I
seniority?
think we're 78, Modern is 78% Saudi right now. Our phosphate business is 100% run by Saudis. Our aluminum business is 100% run by Saudis. Gold and base metals and exploration are where we are most dependent on Western expertise, and we have expats running those functions and staffing the middle layers of those functions, developing the capabilities. But the businesses that are more mature, and I say more mature in this context, is 5 to 10 years old, exclusively run by Saudis.
Agenda 2030, we're in 24 already now, so that's what, 5 or 6 years away. Obviously, you have a plan in terms of what you can achieve by the point of 2030.
Right.
How much different do you think Marden might look, even in the space of another 5 or 6 years?
We were talking with a construction contractor right before we came out here today, and we were laying out just the projects we know we're going to execute. So the board has approved conceptually, and we're in final stages of design and engineering. It's Phosphate 3, it's Phosphate 4, it's an aluminum recycling plant, and it's an expansion of our aluminum facilities. It's at least 2 more gold mines, and that's all without any more exploration success. So we will be 2 to 3 times as big by the end of the decade as we are now.
Right. You can't do that without collaboration.
No.
Whether that's with other companies from around the world,
Right.
which of course is why some people are here.
Yeah.
But just on a slightly bigger picture of collaboration, and this event is about that, and the ministerial roundtable discussions are about that. How far do you think that has to go to step from, as you were talking about, talk to action?
Yeah, I think the good thing, I was with His Excellency the Vice Minister Khalid Madafar this morning, and we were having a smaller group session with a number of other mining CEOs. I said it the other day about humility, and he said it again today. We are listening at this point. We are asking the questions and looking for help. I think the beautiful thing about Saudi is one of the beautiful things is they realize that to grow these industries and grow these businesses, a partnership model is essential. And it goes all the way back to the foundation of Aramco with Standard Oil. That partnership model has been the basis for every other successful industrial pillar that we've built here. Modern did it with Alcoa, with Mosaic, with Sabic. We're doing it now in exploration with Ivanhoe and Barrick, and that will continue. And it's real, it's genuine. We want to go fast, and we know that we can go faster with partners.
Bob, I'm just going to ask you one question, which is a sort of general one, really. But I think certainly from a journalistic side of the fence, we often think, well, we look at the climate challenges, we look at the energy transition challenges, and if we don't do this, we are cooked, we're in real trouble. So it's quite a sort of very negative perspective in a way.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say at the same time that this is the moment of change for the world?
I think it is, and I think we're starting to see, I would say, just within the last 6 to 9 months, a pragmatic, realistic view that we are significantly behind. Everybody made 2050 goals. Everybody announced a roadmap to get there. Then the world kind of changed starting around 2020. And we're all waking up now and saying, there's no price signal for investment. There's been no more significant exploration spending. There's been no more mines under construction. So we've got to sort out, because we're in this moment of inflection, the economics of who's going to pay for this. I'll give you an example. We are the largest exporter of ultra-low carbon ammonia in the world here at Modern. I don't get any premium for that. We say we need more copper. Copper was down 8% last year. We say we need more aluminum. Aluminum was down 6%. So the world's got to sort out, if we want to make this change, somebody's got to be willing to pay for it.
you've got a lot of work ahead of you. You're dressed for, I'm not sure if you were heading out for a bit of leisure, are you off skiing, are you down to the beach? What sort of, which way are you going?
Every day working for Modern is like a vacation.
That's too corny, but we'll end on that.
Good.
Bob, great pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Lovely, thank you.